Alright viewers, welcome to another episode from Anything About Everything, and today we are doing Aditya Hrudayam, Awakening the Sun Within Your Heart, episode 5. We stopped at verse 20. We'll continue from there, and Ranjan, thanks for doing this again.
Of course, my pleasure. How are you liking it so far?
Last 2 classes, not gonna lie, was kind of intense to absorb.
Yeah.
There was a lot to absorb. It was also poetic.
Mm-hmm.
It was also like informative.
Yep.
There's also a lot of depth, like a lot of meaning to it in terms of like the 7 things.
Yep.
Kama, Krodha, Mada.
That is the Shadripu.
Those, and then the the 12.
The Dwadasha.
Dwadasha.
Yep.
And it was very interesting, but to absorb everything at once and take it in, it was a lot, but also it was nice.
But how are you feeling after that?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah. Anything like from a just regular perspective. I'm not talking about superficiality, right? But from regular work perspective, on the confidence level with which or how you approach a new task or a new work kind of a thing. How are you observing that so far?
So I'm trying to look at it in a very clearer way, and also real life example is I'd hurt my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty bad. I couldn't sleep at night, and it was, I don't know if cricket aggravated it. Immediately I went to, I almost wanted to go to ER, but I didn't. And then I got a quick appointment at my primary doctor, and then they recommended me to physical therapy. And I told the physical therapist that even if I have to pay out of pocket, just take me in soon. And they took me in. They wanted to make sure that I didn't hurt any muscles, and then it was like slight inflammation, and they started treating it. They said you have to come 3 days, and they did really a good job. But again, yesterday was my cricket game, and I was so nervous. I couldn't back off because I was the only bowler. I didn't want to go. I was confused. If I go, will I hurt myself? Will I be sleepless? And that time all I did was I listened to Aditya Hrudayam 3 times. Just closed my eyes, did the ritual. I felt a lot better. A lot better just listening through it. And also the best part was I do, like I said, I do chant mantras, but this one I could listen to it and also understand the meaning, right? What he was going through and what Agastya Muni is telling Rama, okay, this is what you are, this is where the courage comes and everything lies within you. So I could live it, and especially when I was hearing it again and again, it made a huge difference in me.
Especially the last verses, right? Viraya, Ugraya, Raudraya, everything is about that.
It's just like goosebumps by the time you finish it. I'm like, I think I'm good. I think I'm confident. And even if I'm not confident, I know what to do.
Right.
That's the big change. Even with work, I'm in the same situation. But whenever I feel, because it's a new industry and sometimes there's always ups and downs. Like sometimes I feel like I know a lot. And then sometimes when I close and when I go back and I try to do a new task, I wouldn't know anything. And when those self-doubt comes again, I listen to it, just forget about the work, just be in with one, and then I go back and I concentrate.
Awesome. So today there'll be a slight shift from this verse, from 21 to 24. Okay, it's we call it Sarvatra Sarvam. Okay, it's like the essence of all reality. Okay. And or the reality of everything. It can be interpreted in both ways, right? Again, this is going to trend a little bit between parallel, schools of philosophy across the Sanatana Dharma. But my interpretation on this one, right, is it is very non-dualistic in nature from this point on, right? And what do I mean by non-dualistic, right? It's like, speaking of non-dualism, we have to really Adi Shankaracharya. He composed this composition called Nirvana Shatakam. Okay, Shata means 6. Okay, the number 6. Okay, it's a Nirvana, as you know, it's about Nirvana. Okay, he says the 6 lines that actually speak about Nirvana. Okay. And it goes like Mano Buddhya Hankara Chitta Ninaham Nacha Shrotra Jihve Nacha Grana Netri Nacha Vyoma Bhumi Na Tejo Navayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. And it goes on several lines like that, right? In which he says, I'm not this, but what am I? I'm that pure consciousness. Nothing more than that. Nothing less than that. Right? And you'll start seeing a few similarities between that and the next few lines. Okay? But maybe we should do a podcast on Nirvana Shatkam itself. I think it's a wonderful composition. We should try to tackle that sometime.
We'll definitely do it.
Yeah. I think maybe once we finish the Aditya Hrudayam, let's try to do the Nirvana Shatkam.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so 21 through 24, Sarvatra Sarvam, the all-pervading, all-compassing reality, right? This section represents another profound shift from invocation to realization. First, mark that word realization. What does realization mean?
Realization means knowing, understanding.
In one way, okay? Realization. Knowing the real I.
Realization.
Think about it this way, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You have two options in life: realization, dramatization.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most of the people are stuck in dramatization. They're stuck in drama. Okay. You want to figure out the realization, and the only way for you to figure out that realization is by asking this question that Ramana Maharshi always, encouraged his students to ask. It's like, who am I? Who am I? Just the 3 lines.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And once you know that, you will start seeing that there is nothing else, absolutely nothing else left for you to conquer, because you conquered yourself. Once you conquer yourself, what more is there left to conquer for you?
That is true.
Right? So the next few lines go on that, okay? But revealing that sun as the I. Now you are going to start looking at the sun inside your heart. Sure, we are still going to talk about the metaphorical sun that is outside, okay? But in reality, that sun which is in your heart is where your mind needs to go when we are thinking about these lines, okay? The lines could be a little difficult, but I'm sure you'll get it. Okay, the first one is Tapta Chami Karabhaya Vahnaye Vishvakarmani Namastamo Bhinignaya Ruchaye Lokasakshini. Okay? Tapta Chami Karabhaya Vahnaye Vishvakarmani Namastamo Bhinignaya Ruchaye Lokasakshini Tapta Chami Karabhaya Tapta Chami Karabhaya Vahnaye Vishvakarmane Namastamo Bhinignaya Yeah. Ruchaye Lokasakshine Okay. Tapta Chami Karabhaya. Okay. To whom? Okay. Who has the splendor. Okay. Abha. Okay. Is splendor. Okay. Tapta is molten. Okay. Something that is in a molten form. Okay. Chami Kara means blood. Gold. Okay. That which has the gold in a molten form and looks splendorous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we look at the sun, okay, what does it look like? Looks like
ball of fire.
Ball of fire or ball of gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if we look at the images of the sun that is inside NASA and everything, it looks like it is like everything is flowing inside and erupting
Correct.
and everything because of the gases, right? Molten. Essentially like a molten gas or a molten liquid. Okay. Think about that. Okay. Vahnaye. Okay. To the fire. Okay. What kind of fire? Transformative or digestive. Okay. Did you have your lunch?
Yes.
What did you eat for lunch today?
I ate the leftover.
Oh God. No leftovers.
Why?
Leftovers are not good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why the leftovers are not good? Just curious.
Energy is already like you're trying to. It's already dead. Mm-hmm. First of all, and then you're trying to extend the life of something that is already dead. When we think about it, okay. if a dead body is there and you want to preserve a dead body, what do?
Freeze it.
What are we doing to our food?
Freeze it.
It's dead. That's why we are trying to extend it more so that we can eat it. The nutrition is gone.
Really?
Most of
So what is the concept of this then? There is a meal plan of like this frozen food meal plan and everything where they say this is like game changing, healthy. Like I don't want to.
In one way, it depends on how they are sourcing the food. A lot of it depends on how they are sourcing the food.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because if they're first of all, if it's meat, okay, and if it's frozen, it's probably not that great for you, because there's already like so many probiotics and everything, hormones and everything that they give to the the meat itself. Okay. If it's vegetables, the hormones and all the fertilizers, they go in a different way. Okay. But if it's more organic, and again, I don't want to use the organic word as a cliche, but if you truly know, okay, organic just doesn't mean that you're planting it and then just giving it the essential nutrition. It means you're also treating it with love, because plants are living species too. Correct. Animals are living species too. Okay, and if you are not treating them with love, and if you are going to consume that, you're consuming that energy again. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why back in the day, if we had cows in the home or everything, okay, we used to treat it like a family member. Right? And even that used to react to all the family events and everything that's happening. Okay, and that's why your food was like nutritious, and you had your own coconut plants or vegetable plants and everything. Pretty much you used to, everything was your own thing. And in fact, the first thing that you do, okay, when you buy a piece of land or anything in India, okay, first thing that you do is you dig a well. That's the first thing that you do. Okay, before anything else.
That's why when they do a housewarming ceremony, is first they go to the well, they do that.
Yeah. Right? The first event that you have to do is dig a well, regardless, okay, because you have to know whether water is available over there or not, okay, and the kind of water, okay, how deep is the water going to run into, and if there is no water, then what kind of life are you going to have over there? Okay?
Oh.
And the well has to be in a certain direction. It has to be in the northeast. Well has to be in the northeast? No, wait. The puja room has to be in the northeast. Okay, the well has to be in the other direction, I think. But regardless, okay. And then the water that you are getting from the well and everything, you're going to take that and you're going to offer it to the plants. Okay. And then afterwards, the first thing after the home is constructed and everything, okay, is you're going to bring a cow inside the home.
Correct.
Right. Because you are going to say, this is the place where we are living. Are you happy with this? There's an entire science behind it. Okay.
I've seen all this happening, but I didn't know the
yeah.
Because okay. Whenever somebody buys a property in our side, they call it Gudli Puja. Mm-hmm. So they take everything, they dig, and they come back before even they start the basic. What do they call? Even the foundation.
Right.
They do that on the first.
Yeah. Okay. And then the food that you're eating, that we took a little bit of a tangent over there, okay, but that food that you're eating, what are you essentially doing to that food? You're cooking that food. Even if it's a meal plan, they're essentially cooking that food, right? What is required for you to cook the food?
Fire.
Okay. Once you eat, cook that food, when you're eating, what is inside your body that is making it edible and digestion and everything? The same fire. There's like acids inside your body, right? And that's what is causing the entire digestion process and everything. Once that fire is gone, that's it. You can't digest the food. You're done. Yeah. Okay. It's a crazy thing. So that did we talk about tattvas?
Yes.
We spoke about the tattvas, right?
Little bit, yes.
We call it the Pancha Mahabhutas. Okay. Out of which Agni, okay, or the fire, okay, is one of it. Vahnaye means Agni, essentially, okay. And in the next set of verses, you'll see why Agni is very important. In fact, one of the very first verses in Rigveda, okay, is about the fire god. It's a fire ritual. That's why for us, when we are doing any homa or anything, right, we have to have fire. Otherwise, it's not considered as successful. Yeah. Okay. Because that digests it. Okay. And the Lord is going to consume it at that point. Okay, he consumes it and then he blesses the food, and then you're supposed to eat the prasada or leftovers of that.
Mm.
But regardless, okay, to the fire, okay, and Vishwakarma is an architect. He's the architect of the universe, okay, and Nama, salutations. Okay, the next word, Tamo Bhinignaya. Okay, Tama means darkness. Okay, Nama is salutation and Tama is darkness. Okay, Abhinignaya, to the destroyer. Abhi plus Nigna, that is the Sandhi.
Mm.
Okay, Ruchaye is not taste. Okay, a lot of people think it is Ruchaye because I've seen a few of them interpret this one saying, okay, it is digestion, it is cooking, so please give us tasty food as well. No, it has nothing to do with taste over here at all. Okay, Ruchaye is the one who is light. Okay, or brilliance. Okay, and Loka Sakshine, to the witness of the world. Okay, who is the one who is Sakshi of the entire Milky Way galaxy over here? It is the sun. He is the one who's witnessing everything, right? If there is an event and if there's a celestial court, and if someone says what happened during the daytime, is there someone who witnessed it? Who would you rather bring it to that court? So please, sun is the one who's been there. He's the one who's been seeing it all, because everything is happening in the sunlight. Okay. So the meaning: salutations to him who has the splendor of molten gold, to the fire, to the architect of the universe. Salutations to the destroyer of darkness, to the brilliance, to the witness of the world. Okay. On the surface level, this looks like a very normal verse, saying, okay, again, salutations, Ranjan. So why did you say this one is like, all-encompassing reality and sarvatra sarvam? Why such, deep words for such a simple verse? Let's go into the real crux of it. Okay. Tapta chami kharabaya. The sun is not just golden; he's molten gold. Okay. Representing the ultimate purified radiant essence of value and consciousness. Okay. Why do you think Indians buy gold?
Because it holds value.
Why does it hold value?
Because it's scarce.
Okay.
I'm just going economic ways. Yeah.
The real part of it, okay, is gold is the only metal which does not react inside your body.
Only metal?
Yes. After gold, it is silver.
Really?
Mm-hmm. All other metals, they react. If you got your ears pierced with like iron or something like that, right? It reacts.
Correct. It'll
Okay. But gold has no reaction inside your body. Now.
Gold and silver.
Gold and silver. Okay. If something is not having reaction inside your body, okay, what does that mean? Your body is already having a part of it. Let's take an example.
Okay.
During the chickenpox time, who were the ones who were not getting chickenpox?
I don't know.
Milk women.
Who? Milk women?
Mm-hmm. Okay, because they already had chickenpox. Chickenpox is a virus that was transmitted through essentially cows and animals like that. Okay, farm animals essentially. Okay, and because they were working with these animals on a daily basis, they built an immunity towards it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, forget that. What is an essential thing of a vaccination? What do you think a vaccination is?
Oh yeah, they just give the same virus in a limited
Shorter
and
dose.
Controlled dosage,
Right.
So our body builds immunity to that in
Right.
a controlled.
Okay, and when the same virus is, you come in contact with that virus, you don't have any reaction towards it anymore.
Correct.
Okay, so essentially if there is an external agent inside your body and you're not reacting to it, it means your body already has certain part of it. Correct? At least from a vaccination perspective and everything, that's what is making sense. So your body has this molten gold. Okay, and we have the sun and the moon. Remember we spoke about the Ida and the Pingala. Okay, and then when the Amrita drops from the Sahasrara Chakra back down into the system, right? It is often described as like the nectar of Amrita, or the rasa of Amrita, the golden juice. Okay, and the most sweetest thing, the most intoxicating thing, like very poetic, okay? But when it is not sitting well in your system, okay, it tastes like a metal, very pungent. If you like do it in an inappropriate way and then you force it and everything, it changes because your system is not used to it. I'm just giving all of this for information's sake for now, okay? But because if anyone is already in a practice that is deeper, and if they're experiencing any symptoms, if it is sweet and everything, you're good. But apparently if it is all metallic and things like that, you should stop. And you get that metallic taste in your mouth. Yeah, okay. Vahanaye, he's identified as Agni over here, okay? The sacred power of transformation, okay? Which digests foods, along with the foods, all your thoughts and the karma, okay? When we do all these rituals and everything, what are we essentially doing it for? To say, okay, I've done these actions, now purify them, okay? Or now neglect them so that the karma is destroyed, whatever the reasons are, okay? And like we said, that tattva, that gold which is outside in the sun is also inside you, okay? That fire that is outside in the sun is also inside you. Otherwise, you won't be able to digest food. Forget it. You're dead. Yeah. Forget all of that. There's a body temperature, okay? What's your body temperature at?
98.2 Fahrenheit.
Okay, right? Now, at 98.25, okay? If it drops a little bit, what happens to you?
I think we'll die if it drops a couple Fahrenheit.
Right? And if it increases?
Again, we'll die. We call it fever, but we'll die by 102, 103. Right? 104 is like, yeah, you die.
Correct. So, what is essentially over there? If there is a temperature, it means there is heat. And where there is heat, there is fire.
Correct.
Essentially. So, definitely there is fire inside the body. About this, there is no doubt. Okay. Vishwakarmane, he is the divine intelligence that designs, constructs and maintains the intricate order of the entire cosmos. Okay, he's not just a light in the sky, but he's organizing the principle of reality. What are you doing with your life when you think about it? You're designing it, you're maintaining it, and you're destroying it. Okay, you'll be like, okay, I want to design a podcast. Design it. I want to maintain this. This is no longer giving me fun. You end it. Right? The same thing we do for every single aspect of our life. Consciously or unconsciously. Might as well just do it consciously. Don't do it unconsciously. Because if you do it consciously, you'll have more fun. Okay? Tamo bhinignaya. His primary function is the annihilation. Okay? Abhinignaya, of the darkness, ignorance, delusion and inertia, both cosmically and within the human heart. Okay? Your primary role, okay, all of your suffering, where does it come from?
Within.
From that darkness. Lack of. Okay? Lack of that light, lack of that clarity. Okay?
Correct.
Destroy it. And you will become the sun. Yeah. Go inward. Put a flashlight inside your system and then see what is going on in the mind. Right? The sun is illuminating the entire world. Okay? Now illuminate yourself inside the head and then see what are my thoughts. Dissect each and every single thought. What are the hidden patterns?
Sometimes it's scary, right?
It is. Yeah, it is. Most of the times it is scary. That's why we always go outside. We don't want to go inside at all, right? But then you embrace that challenge. Okay? It's going to be wonderful. It's also scary. A lot of people commit suicide and everything because they overthink.
Yes.
Right? When you think about it, most of the suicide cases are because of overthinking, primarily. Okay? So you should not be overthinking, but you should not be underthinking. You should be thinking, okay, in a very objective way. You have to separate yourself from your thoughts. Okay? Because the moment you bring yourself into the thought, it becomes dramatization. It's not realization anymore. Because you're playing a lead role again. Okay? But if you want to like watch it from a critique perspective, okay, you have to separate yourself. You'll be like, I did not make this podcast. Let me watch this podcast like a general audience, like a normal spectator. Only then you will be able to tell what is working well and what is not working well. The moment you see it through your own lens, you'll either become extremely critical or you'll be extremely fascinated. You cannot stay grounded. Okay? And that's why we say, okay, we've done this. Can you tell me how this work is? We seek external validation for that very reason. Okay? But if you are able to switch that light off, and if you can look at it, removing yourself from the equation, that's when you'll see it more clearly. Okay? Ruchaye, he's not just the light, but he's the very essence of brilliance, beauty, and the power of illumination that makes perception and understanding possible. Okay? What that means, okay, is you have to become that light. You have to really control your urges. And I'm not talking about urges like, every human being has urges. Indulge. No problem there. But be conscious. Don't just be an animal. If you're doing something, be fully present in it. Knowing and doing. Don't just do it without knowing. Don't just know and do nothing about it. Both of them are useless things. Okay? If you know, get to know it completely, do it. If you're doing it, know about it. Otherwise, that's a recipe for a disaster. Okay? That knowing, okay, is what is the essence and brilliance. That knowing and doing part. Okay? Lokasakshini. Okay? And this is the declaration. He is the ultimate impartial witness of all the worlds and all the actions, right? If you become a witness, if Raghu removes Raghu from the equation and watches Raghu, okay, write that down actually. That should be your mantra every morning. If Raghu removes Raghu from the equation and observes Raghu, who is Raghu? Okay, that is the lokasakshini, because at that point you'll see the reality of the entire universe. Until then, everything is a mask. Okay. Everything is in Maya. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Let's go to the next verse. Okay. This one is going to get a little more deeper.
Okay.
Okay. Nashatyesha vaibhutam tadeva srijati prabhu. Okay. Payatyesha tapatyesha varshatyesha ghabasthibihi. Okay. Say the words first. Okay. Because it's the words get really tricky from here.
Okay.
Here onwards. Okay. Nashatyesha vaibhutam.
Nashatyesha vaibhusham.
Vaibhutam. Yeah. Nashatyesha vaibhutam.
Nashatyesha vaibhutam.
Tadeva srijati prabhu.
Tadeva srijati prabhu.
Payatyesha tapatyesha.
Payatyesha tapatyesha.
Varshatyesha ghabasthibihi.
Varshatyesha gabasthibihi.
Nashatyesha vaibhutam.
Nashatyesha vaibhusham.
Vaibhutam. Okay. Tadeva srijati prabhu.
Tadeva srijati prabhu.
Payatyesha tapatyesha.
Payatyesha tapatyesha.
Varshatyesha gabasthibihi.
Varshatyesha gabasthibihi.
Nashyati.
Nashyati.
Means destroying. Okay. So nashyati plus esha. Because it's a combined word. Now it becomes nashatyesha.
Nashatyesha. Okay.
Okay. And bhutam, okay, you'll refer especially to like the South Indian culture, and even in like the Northeast, when you go to like some of the northeastern states, I won't declare which ones over there. Okay, you say that the bhutas are over here. Okay, and it's like kind of like a spiritual entity has taken over, kind of a thing, almost like Kantara. Okay. You call that bhutas, bhuta, okay? But in this context, okay, bhuta means that which has come into being, okay? Or that which has come into creation, that is that which is present, okay? So first he's saying destruction, nashatyesha, okay? Vaibhutam, okay? That which has come into being, okay? Tateva, that itself, okay, Srijati Prabhu, okay, is the Lord. Okay, Payatyesha, the protection, the nourishing, and the sustenance. Okay, Tapati, again the heat. Tapa is the heat and the shining part of it, right? Varshati is Varsha, like the rain, the showers. Okay, Gabastibihi is with the rays. Okay, this very Lord indeed destroys all that has come into being. Okay, and that very same one creates it again. Okay, he protects all, he shines, okay, by providing the heat and the light, and he rained down the showers of nourishment with his own rays. Okay. This one is again getting very scientific. Okay, they're talking about the process of evaporation over here. Okay, he's going to kill everything. About this there is no doubt. The end of the worlds are going to happen because of sun.
Yes.
Okay, whether when people say, oh, it is because the oceans are going to swallow the entire thing and everything, it's again because the polar ice caps are going to melt. Whatever you think of, it is primarily because of the sun. Okay, but then he's the one who will create it again. Okay, and this is happening on a daily basis, every single day. Okay, some world or the other is getting consumed in the universe. Okay, we are still having the earth. Okay, but there is some other planet in some other galaxy, in some other constellation or nebula, okay, that is getting consumed. The entire concept of a black hole and everything, what happens to it? It's swallowing.
Correct.
Okay, it's just bringing it into that and then it's swallowing completely. Okay, that's going to happen to Earth as well. Okay, we for some weird reason think nothing is ever going to happen to us. Okay, and the essence of human life is as such. When you're a baby, you don't even think about death.
Correct.
Okay, when you're a teenager or when you're growing up, you know what death is. Okay, as a young adult, you take life for granted. Okay, and when you're finally closing down towards the end of your life, that's when you start realizing my time is nearby. My time is nearby. That's why most of the people in their end, they start taking a Bhagavad Gita and then start reading it. Okay, because they are the ones who create their world and they are the ones who destroy it. Okay,
I always felt like when it comes to older people, I wish the certain things that they do, we should have done it like younger. I always think about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially like the smarter older people about reading Bhagavad Gita or just doing stuff or just telling stuff without that they're intending well. It might sound harsh, but we always try to sugarcoat things, but they don't.
Yeah. But to be very honest with you on that particular front, I'm very proud of the current generation.
Is it?
Oh yes. Undoubtedly. Even if it's happening because of a superstition or social media, whatever it is, right? That spark has caught on to them. Okay, like if you looked at it like 15-20 years ago, okay, everything was on the decline, man, at that point. Okay, people were not even celebrating Mahashivratri. Okay, people were not celebrating Shri Ram Navami, nothing of that sort. Okay, now because of at least social media, I think there's like a peer pressure factor. Someone says Happy Shri Ram Navami and it's like, okay, if I don't say it now, okay, people are, or even Ramadan or Christmas, whatever it is, right? That spiritual context has caught fire. Okay, because people are observing, okay, there is something going on in the world. Okay, and this doesn't feel like it's a good thing right now. Okay, and it doesn't feel like it's a real thing. Everything feels so fake about what's happening everywhere. So how do I figure out what's happening? We live in a world where you can order anything immediately. Okay, what we have, our struggles are primarily and essentially because of a spiritual crisis.
Agreed.
Okay, it is the crisis of the self. We don't know what to do with ourselves. Okay, that's why people cannot tolerate being alone. If they are finding themselves like having like one day free time, right? And if you don't give them anything, no books, no CDs, no TV, nothing at all, okay, no car, you put them in solitary confinement, they'll go crazy right now. Why do you think people reacted so wildly for COVID? One part of the vaccination, the other part is if you're not allowed to go outside and everything, they're like going crazy at that point. Till date, I believe COVID produced more psychos than anyone else. Okay? And the only answer to that one is embrace yourself. If you are able to fall in total love with yourself, okay, you don't need to go anywhere. If you know a good scripture, okay, you can live it, completely live it in that moment of crisis when you have no one else at all. Who is going to be there with you forever, Raghu?
That is true.
No one will be there with you forever. Right? So if you know any verses of Bhagavad Gita, or if you know any verses of any scripture for that matter of fact, right? And if you can recollect that and live that magic of that scripture at that point, that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. I have two things to add here. One is when you said about this, nobody is gonna be with you forever, right? So I watched this movie. I don't know if I watched Life of Pi.
Yep, I did.
I watched this movie when I was in, I think my first year degree or something. And there's one dialogue in that, and sometimes I watch the whole movie for the dialogue. It's Irfan Khan.
Yep.
The way he acts and the way he tells is beautiful. The guy will ask, did you feel bad when Richard Parker left? And his acting of subtly crying but not crying and wiping off his tears, he says, you realize at a point that the whole life becomes act of letting go.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's
really
so
is.
true.
It really is. Yeah. You have to let go of yourself at a point.
Yeah.
Right? And then letting go of yourself with grace. With so much grace and with so much joy, right? That people around you are not left in any misery, but then they are happy. Okay? Of course people will miss you. There's no doubt about it, right? Because you're such an incredible, person who's filling in the void of so many lives, whether it's your friends, your family members, your co-workers, whatever it is. And if you have to leave the earth, right? Some people you leave a very strong impression upon, okay? And some people you won't, right? But the ones whom with you leave a strong impression upon, right? If you're saying, hey, you know what, I'm actually really happy. I'm reading my Bhagavad Gita, I know my time is close by and everything, don't worry about me. And if there is something that I can do for you, okay, if I can spend time with you, that's fine. If you can't, I can understand that too. Okay, perfect. That is a life worth living.
It's awesome. And I have a question.
Yeah.
This might be a little segue, but have you heard of this? I forgot the name. I did a podcast with Dhanush about it too. Like, not exactly about that, but she did that. The 10-day silent camp where Vipassana.
Yeah.
So I want to do it, but at the same time, I've been reading about it. Just saw some YouTube videos about it.
Yeah.
So what is your thought on the thing?
See, again, I will give my honest opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Vipassana, when you go to the retreats, right, what they essentially do is they'll take your phone and everything, okay, and even your passports, ID cards, everything, and they'll lock it, okay, and you cannot talk.
Correct, for 10 days.
Correct, and then you'll have like an instructor, you can, and you get a moment to go ask the questions, okay. But it's not about not talking, it's about silencing your mind. That's the goal, okay. And the good thing is they don't charge you anything for the Vipassana retreats. Okay, that's a fantastic thing that they do. Okay, it's completely run on donations and things like that. But it's not about the words; it's about the silence in the mind. Okay, you can talk as much as you want, but if you know when to silence your mind, you're golden. You can keep your mouth shut, but if there's constant chatter in your mind, what good is that? Okay. I've personally never attended a Vipassana retreat, so I cannot exactly say about how it goes on over there and things like that. Okay. If they're telling you the techniques, the right techniques to silence your mind, instead of just asking you to not talk at all, it could very well be worth it. Okay. But if they're not doing any of that, and if they'll just say, hey, you know what, don't talk, it's going to become a much more crazy thing for you.
Got it. So what I've heard her experiences, or based on few YouTube, some of them like say good, some they don't say bad, but it's like more of like you wake up at 5 a.m. and you meditate, and then you eat and you meditate, and you eat and you meditate, and like you said, 1 hour or half an hour will be given with your instructor if you have any questions.
Yep.
But on that, you don't have book, phone, nothing.
Yep.
You're just supposed to sit with your thoughts for 10 days, and you're not starving or anything, but you're supposed to do that. And some people say when you come out, you're more fresh, but when you come out to the normal world, you have so much distractions that just like subsides over the period of time, and you get back to the normal routine.
Yeah, but see, let me ask you this question: for you to just eat and meditate, why do you need to go somewhere?
That is the exact question that I had in my mind.
It's I also think, personally, for me, if you ask me, meditation and prayer are like a very private affair. I don't want to meditate or pray in groups.
You don't?
I don't.
Never.
It's a very intimate moment for me. It's like me going to my girlfriend. Okay, me sharing a moment of a deep personal conversation with my mother. Okay, or me sharing a really a conversation that is personal to me with a good friend like you. Okay, I would not do that when so many other people are there, right? I would say, hey Raghu, I need to talk to you for a minute, let me know. Okay, or if I want to tell something like really nice to my girlfriend or something like that, I would be like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. Same thing with my mother, right? For me, God is like that. Okay, I cannot do that in like a complete a group
social
of
setting.
Yeah, I can't. If I need to, and sometimes I don't know what happens, because I get like really intense and everything, and some people are not comfortable with it. I'm not saying that I'm going to dance and woohoo and all of that. I'm sitting very still. Okay, but then the temperature in that room just increases like crazy. I know it. Okay, and it's and if it's a moment of contemplation for me, or if it's a moment where I've completely gone into stillness. Okay, it's like the thoughts that come into my mind every once in a while when I go into that extremely deep state. It's like everything quiets, everything in the mind just shuts off. Okay, it happens for 1 second maybe. Okay, and then when I get out of it, I'm like, was I dead? If I was dead, am I alive now?
Is that how intense that is?
Yes. And I'm like, am I breathing? And then all of a sudden now, that breath comes back to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's that intense.
For me, it gets that intense. Yeah.
Wow. That's actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. And so I don't want to scare other people, okay? Or I don't want them to come and disturb that moment that I have, okay? But for some people it works in a bhakti setting. Who am I to decide for them, right?
Yeah,
if that is working for you, by all means, go for it, right? It is up to your own discretion. You have to figure out what is working for you and what is not working for you, okay? And there is no other way other than, just going at it.
Doing it.
Yep. Prayatnaha sadhaka. That's it. The only thing is you keep practicing. Yeah. But not to the point where, like how Bruce Lee says, I'm afraid of the guy who practices one kick 1,000 times, but not a guy who practices 1,000 kicks one time. Right? It's like, you want to do a practice, stick to that practice. Okay? And then go with it. Keep going at it. Someday it will click. But then you stay for it for like 1 week and I'm like, this one is not working for me. I'm going to change to something else.
Never works.
Nope.
I feel consistency is the key for
anything.
It
is. Absolutely.
Anything. It's the most underrated thing, but with consistency, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And my CTO was, it's interesting. He was talking to me about some stories, and he said he loves writing, creative aspect. He said he's writing something with how for people who want to do good, they don't have that consistency or willingness, versus people who want to do bad, they have that consistency and willingness.
Nice.
That's why
it's consistently bad.
Yeah, consistently bad.
I like that. Yeah. Okay, we'll go into the hidden meaning. Okay. Again, over here, this verse is a profound declaration of the sun's role as the non-dual source of the entire cycle of existence. Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara. Okay. Creation, sustenance and destruction. Okay. If we go into an authentic role, okay, there is two more layers between Srishti and Samhara. Okay. You have the Srishti, Sthiti, and then you have Nigraha.
What is Nigraha?
In that context, Nigraha is not realizing your true nature.
Sthiti, Nigraha.
And then you have Anugraha.
Anugraha.
Okay, that is the grace descending upon you, where you start realizing your true nature and everything. And then there is Samhara. Okay, but that is in the Shaivite lineages. Okay, and over here we have Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara. Okay, 3. It encapsulates the 3 fundamental cosmic functions in one powerful statement. Okay, Nashyati, Srijati. Okay, first they are talking about the destruction. Okay, the sun is the master of the time in this context, Kala. Of course, you see even the time works on the sun over here, right? The same energy that brings life through photosynthesis and warmth also causes decay, dissolution, and death. Okay, this is the cycle of the day and night. Okay, in the daytime, everything comes to life. In the night time, things are dead. Okay? Summer and winter, life and death. When you look about it, everything is coming as dual layers of it. But in reality, it is just one. That dual nature is because you have 2 eyes. If we had only one eye, maybe it was just one season even for us, right? He's the ultimate cause behind both the emergence and the withdrawal of all the forms. Okay. At a very high level, okay, Raghu only wants to either do or not do. Okay. All the thinking that you do
is between
these two.
These two decisions.
That's it. That is just the reality of life. Okay. When you say I'm thinking, okay, it's like, what are you thinking about? Do you want to do it or do you not want to do it?
Okay. Do you want to say it or you don't want to say it?
Correct. Okay. That is the duality. Okay. And for the ones who are a little wiser, okay, they'll make that decision really quick. They're like, yes, I'll do it. It's okay. I'll face the consequences of this. There's no need to worry. Okay. Or they'll say, I won't do it. I don't want to bear the consequences of this. This is not for me. Okay. Fine. But the one who's swindling between these two, he's the one who's a troubled soul. Okay. Now, Payati, okay, he's protecting and sustaining, okay, between the creation and the destruction, okay, that is where your thoughts are. What are your thoughts trying to do to you? In reality, all your thoughts are trying to protect you.
Correct.
That is what they're trying to do, okay. And then, Tapati Varshati, okay, he shines and then he rains, okay. And then the understanding of the hydrological cycle, the evaporation, how the environment works and everything, okay. But eventually nourishing the world and also destroying it. Okay. Any questions on this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we spoke about, you spoke about the decision, right? You're either yes or no kind of decisions. And always it boils down to that.
Yeah.
So how do you make very practical decisions in a spiritual way? For me, how I think is I personally feel, this might not be for everyone, why I feel like childhood was easier for me compared to my adulthood is because childhood I didn't have to make any crazy decisions and have any crazy consequences. My parents would say, okay, you eat this, you go to school, you come back, we'll pick you up, we'll do this.
Yeah.
Now everything is reliant on you, right?
Yeah.
So as simple as the lease is coming to an end, should we increase the lease year, should we go somewhere, there's 5 options, like how do you make these kind of, this was just an example, how do you make such decisions in a more spiritual way where you don't like
we had the Bhagavad Gita class this morning, okay, and we had like this, the youngest kid, Satvik, his name is Satvik, I think you probably met him as well in the class, okay. We were talking about this, right? And the mind works on 3 planes.
On 3 planes?
Yes. Manas, Ahankara and Buddhi. Together it's called Antakaranas. Okay. Manas is like the, think about it like where all your thoughts emerge from.
Okay.
Okay. Ahankara is the ego.
Ego.
Okay. Buddhi is the intellect or wisdom.
Intellect. Okay.
Okay. Let's call it wisdom rather. Okay. All your thoughts emerge, but how do they emerge? Okay. You smell something good, you see a beautiful woman, okay, or
you see something.
You hear something, okay. All of these sensory organs, they act as inputs to you, okay. So they go into your system, and then your system is like, okay, generating a thought. But behind every thought, after a thought is generated, right, is you cannot help but bring yourself into the equation.
Correct.
That is the ahankara part, okay. And then you become restless to do something or to not do something.
Correct.
Okay. But either in doing or not doing, okay, is how you get the wisdom.
Okay.
Or the knowledge. Okay. If you change that equation, because the thoughts are going to come in. You live in a very, very materialistic world.
Correct.
You cannot control it. How long can you control it for? Okay. Once the thought comes in, put the ego aside and bring the intellect first. Okay. After manas, when the ego is kicking in, remember the previous line that you wrote?
Yep. I'll read it out. If Raghu removes Raghu from the equation, who is Raghu?
Okay. Now, write another line. If Raghu removes Raghu from the equation, what would Raghu do? That's it. If you remove yourself from the equation, and if you still want to do it, that's what you have to do.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. You want to play cricket. Okay. If you say, I don't want to play cricket today, okay, and then you say, okay, if I remove myself from the equation, do I still want to play cricket? And then if your mind says, okay, even if you don't play, just go and watch the game. Go play. Okay. And if the mind says, no dude, what is there in that? Okay. Nothing but suffering. Don't go.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how you change that rule. Yeah. You can actually take that line and you can apply that in different ways. Yeah. If I remove myself from the equation, what would I do? If I remove myself from the equation, who do I become? If I remove myself from the equation, who would I listen to? Okay. Because primarily we give so much importance to this body called I. Right? But if this is removed, okay, and if I'm just witnessing, what would I do? Okay. If I'm witnessing that cricket match, do I still want to play that? Even if I don't exist, go play. If you say, no, I want to play it only because it is important to me, then you're not being a team player anymore.
Correct.
Right? And at that point, nothing good is going to come out of it. Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
Nothing as such.
Oh, this is a beautiful. You want to go for the next verse?
Yes, please.
Okay. Esha supteshu jagarti, okay, bhuteshu parinishtitaha. Okay. Esha eva agnihotram cha, phalam chaiva agnihotrinam. Okay. You'll see that Agni is used in this context quite a bit. Okay. You want to do it?
Yes.
Okay. Esha supteshu jagarti.
Esha supteshu jagarti.
Bhuteshu parinishtitaha.
Bhuteshu parinishtitaha.
Esha eva agnihotram cha.
Esha eva agnihotram cha.
Phalam chaiva agnihotrinam.
Phalam chaiva agnihotrinam.
Okay. I said that so that you can understand it a little bit. Now we'll do it in a correct way.
Correct.
Okay. Esha supteshu jagarti.
Esha supteshu jagarti.
Bhuteshu parinishtitaha.
Bhuteshu parinishtitaha.
Esha evagnihotram cha.
Esha evagnihotram cha.
Phalam chaivagnihotrinam.
Phalam chaivagnihotrinam.
Okay. There's a reason why I asked you to say it the first way in a different style. Okay. Bhuteshu, in all beings. We already covered that. Okay. Supteshu. Okay. When they are asleep. Okay. Nidra is also sleep. Okay. And Sushupti is deep sleep. Like an extremely deep sleep. Okay. So Supteshu means sleep. Supteshu. Okay. And Parinishtitaha, okay, is he's still established. Okay. Agnihotrinam, okay, is that ritual, the Vedic fire offering, Agnihotram, okay. Phalam is the result, okay. Agnihotrinam, okay, is the performers of the Agnihotram. One is the ritual itself, and the other one is the one who is performing the ritual. Okay. Oh, this is just one of the best verses of Aditya Hrudayam. Okay. He remains awake while all beings are asleep. Okay. He is eternally established, pervading all beings. Okay. Indeed, he himself is the Agnihotra ritual. Okay. And he is the fruit attained by the persons or the performers of the Agnihotra. Okay. Now, this one is the peak of the non-dualistic or Advaita Vedanta. Okay. The ever awake witness. If you remember, we in the previous verse we called the Lokasakshini, the witness of the world, materialistic world, right? So now it's only more deeper. Okay. What he's saying, the ever awake witness. Okay. Esa supteshu jagarti. Okay. Jagrat. Okay. We all do, say, people say Shivratri, let's do Jagran. And then they play a movie and then they watch the movie and then they come back. That's not Jagran. Jagran means getting awake, like being awoke completely, right? Getting that awakening the self. That is the Jagran. Okay. It's not like going to a movie or going to a nightclub or just dancing in the streets without knowing. That's no Jagran at all. Jagran is staying fully vigilant, completely vigilant, okay? Not time passing, not killing the time with like some other external activity. That is no Jagran at all. In fact, you might as well just fall asleep at that point. Because that's what you're doing any other day as well. Okay, why do you need a special day for that, right? Why do you do that, okay? Because he is the one who is active inside you when you become inactive. Okay. Again, we spoke about even this one in the class this morning. Oh, wow. You have memory, like a computer, RAM and ROM. Okay. What happens when you shut off the computer? The RAM goes blank, but the ROM still stays, right? Or the other way around, one of these two. Okay. Do you know what happens to you when you are asleep? You don't. Okay. It's like a complete reset, pretty much. Then how come you still remember who you are after you wake up? How is that possible? Which means there is something inside you that is still awake when you're asleep.
Correct.
That is still keeping everything intact. Because if that thing also falls asleep, you won't remember anything anymore. Correct?
It's like you're dead.
Yeah. Or you'll wake up and you're like, who am I? You'll go into total amnesia at that point. Right? So even when you're asleep, there is someone inside you that is keeping you awake.
Correct.
Okay. The same thing is sun. That is what we call the sun. Okay. The Atma or the soul is what keeps you awake even when you fall asleep. Okay. And then what does he do? He is not separate from you. You are a part of him. You are a one little tiny fraction of that all pervading consciousness. Okay. And once you tap into that all-pervading consciousness, right? That's it. All life problems sorted. When I say all life problems sorted, again, because this is going to get misinterpreted. Like, I tapped into that consciousness and I found a job. I tapped into that consciousness and my ex-boyfriend called me back. No, none of that is going to happen. Okay, you'll just be in that state forever. Well, or you might, you at least know how to go there, and then you're like, okay, so it's okay. I don't need to take everything. Like, I don't need to be so clingy about everything. Okay. And this is the means and the end. Okay. And how does he say that? Esha agnihotram cha phalam chaiva agnihotrinam. Okay. This is like, you're the ritual. Okay. And you're the fruit of the ritual. Okay. This is what we called knowing and doing. Remember, we spoke about it earlier. It's like, if you don't know what you're doing, okay, don't do it. Okay. If you're doing something, okay, sorry, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Okay. If you know and are not doing, there is no use of that knowledge. Okay. When is it going to be in perfect union? When you know and you do. The knower and the doer becomes one. Okay. The ritual and the result becomes one. It's the same thing as what Shri Krishna Paramatma says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kata. You do your work, don't worry about the result. Because in the doing itself is your result. That's it. Okay. So the ritual itself is the result itself. Okay.
Right.
And at that point, the fruit, okay, is also you. Because you realize, okay, I did this ritual. That's it. That was my part. Okay. I did what I have total control upon. Something that I don't have control on, why would I worry about it?
True.
A simple mantra in life, out of hand, out of mind. It's as simple as that. Is there something you can do about it? Do it. Is there nothing you can do about it? Forget it. Okay. Any questions? Okay. This teaches that the seeker, the act of seeking, and the object sought are all one and the same. Okay. The spiritual practice sadhana is the process of realizing that the decline or the divine, okay, rather, and the upward rising, okay, because we have this concept of, oh, my spiritual practice is not progressing anymore, oh, my spiritual practice is progressing so much, okay, but that Lord, that divine Lord, everything is one and the same. You just got to keep your practice. That practice itself is your God. That discipline itself is the God. That consistency that you're talking about, that is God. Yeah. Any questions?
Nothing as such.
Okay. Next verse. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's just do it. Okay. Vedascha kritavaschaiva. Okay. Kratunam phalamevacha. Okay. Yani krityani lokeshu sarva esha ravih prabhu. Okay. You want to say it?
Yep.
Okay. Vedascha kritavaschaiva.
Vedascha krutavaschaiva.
Kratunam phalamevacha.
Kratunam phalamevacha.
Yani krityani lokeshu.
Yani krityani lokeshu.
Sarva esha ravi prabhu.
Sarva esha ravi prabhu.
Vedascha kritavaschaiva.
Vedascha krutavaschaiva.
Kratunam phalamevacha.
Kratunam phalamevacha.
Yani krityani lokeshu.
Yani krityani lokeshu.
Sarva esha ravi prabhu.
Sarva esha ravi prabhu.
Veda. Okay. The sacred knowledge. The Veda word comes from Vidya. Okay. Vidya means knowledge. Veda means that sacred knowledge, the amalgamation of all that sacred knowledge. Okay. Kritava, the sacrifices and the rituals. In fact, if you see this, Kritavas and Kratunam, the root word is Kra. Okay. And it is coming in from Kriya. Kriya means doing. Okay. Phalam is the fruit or the thing that we spoke about even in the previous verse. Okay. Evacha, yani, whatever. Okay. And krityani, actions, duties, or necessities or needs. Okay. Lokeshu, in the world. Okay. Sarva, again, everything. Okay. Ravi, Prabhu. Okay. Ravi is the sun. Okay. Prabhu is the Lord. Okay. What are they saying? The Vedas and the sacrifices, indeed the very fruit of the sacrifices, and whatever duties are performed in all the words, all this is actually the Lord. You playing cricket, okay, is also the Lord. If you are playing with full awareness, with full consciousness, okay, whatever you're doing, when you become one with that, that is all that is required. That is what we call practice. When we say practice, right? What are we practicing for? To get into that union of the act and you to merge into it completely. Right? That is the samadhi state.
Got it.
Okay? And that's what is being described over here. Okay? Because when these two merge, there is no longer duality. The doer and the doing is just the same. Raghu and what Raghu is doing, when it becomes one, how do you separate what the difference is? True. You can't. And at that point, Raghu doesn't exist or the work doesn't exist. It's just going. That's it. Right? If you think about it like you're on a yacht, okay, or a sailboat, okay. Are you going to like constantly, I won't say yacht or a sailboat, kayak, for example. Are you going to constantly keep rowing it?
No.
Why?
You get tired.
Correct.
Sometimes you let go.
You let go. But for you to let go, what do you need to do first?
Steer it in the right direction.
But before that, you still got to do.
Yep.
Okay. And when you do that consistently, after a few strokes, right, is when you'll find that. And then you can let go. And the fun that you get is in letting go. When you're on a kayak, after you give a few strokes and then you let go, that's when you're happy.
Right.
Right? Same thing. Why are you happy at that point? Because you let go. Before that, okay, there is effort. After that, there will be effort. Okay? But that is the place where your effort and you have become one.
Wow.
Okay? Same thing is explained here. And so, Vedascha Kritavaschaiva. Okay? The Vedas and the sacrifices. The sun is identified as the source and the substance of all the sacred knowledge. Okay? All the rituals performed based on that knowledge. Okay? Not just the object of worship. Okay? He's the wisdom. Okay? What is the wisdom, right? Wisdom is that which inspires the act of knowing, okay, your own self and offering it to your own self. Okay? And Kratunam Phalamevacha. Okay? Indeed, the very fruit of the sacrifices. Okay? This extends the identification from the previous verse. Okay? The desired outcomes of all the spiritual practices, whether worldly prosperity, okay, I want business class tickets when I travel to India. Okay? Or you know what, I want to go to the heaven and then I want a buffet of food so that I can never, I don't have to ever cook, and then I just go and then, I don't have to work out in the gym. I can eat whatever I want and I'll still have, a good physique, good health and everything. Or based off on, how or what your idea of heaven or hell is, you can obtain that, okay? Or the ultimate liberation, because even when you go to heaven, it's not liberation for us.
Correct.
Heaven is just one loka, okay? And you're still going to come down again after you go to heaven, okay? It's not a... Okay. If you analyze the word, what do we call heaven in Sanskrit or in Kannada?
Swarga.
Swarga. Okay. What are the two words over there?
Swar and ga.
Swa.
Swa.
Okay. Swa means the self. Okay. When you're doing something, you say swaha.
Swaha.
Swa is the self. Okay. Ga is the direction. Gamya. Okay. Swarga means the direction to the self.
Oh wow.
Okay. Naraka. Okay. We already established the root letter ka. okay, is associated with the Prithvi Tattva. Okay. Nara, okay, is man. Okay. So they are saying, you want to be in Naraka? Take one more life. Experience all of this again. Because you've still not realized what your true self is.
Wow.
Once you realize your true self, that is liberation. There is no more Swarga and Naraka at that point for you. Done. You've broken that cycle. Okay. Okay. Yani Krityani Lokeshu. Okay. This is now expanding the scope. Okay. From the entire human activity. Okay. Every duty, every righteous action that we call dharma, okay, performed in any realm of existence, right, is again a manifestation of his own energy. We think we are doing it, okay, but he's the one who is asking you to do it. Okay. Have you ever felt guilty about anything?
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from?
With him.
Because something was telling you, Raghu,
when I'm doing it only, don't do it.
Don't do it. But you still did it. Okay. And that is what is going to hold in your memory. That is what is going to torture you.
Guilt is the biggest torture.
Guilt is Naraka is the guilt. Who do you think is going to punish you? You yourself are your biggest punisher. You think someone else is going to come and then they'll torture you, forget it. You will torture yourself. We have invented a million ways to torture our own self with our own thought process. Why do you need someone else? Right? Sarva Esha Ravi Prabhu. Okay. All this is actually coming from the Lord himself. And who is that Lord that we are talking about? The sun on the external plane. But you. You are your own master. Right? You are the one who's creating it. You are the one who's maintaining it. You are the one who's destroying it. You are the one who'll witness it. Right? And you are the one who's going to reap the result of it. You are the one who's doing that sacred rituals. Whether it is, going to work, going to school, studying, whatever it is. Everything is a sacred ritual. Okay? And you are the one who's actually becoming the result of that ritual. And you are the one who's experiencing the result of the ritual. Who else is doing anything else over here? And if you become conscious about it, fully conscious, then you'll be happy. If not, perpetual cycle of suffering, joy and suffering at that point. Everything, all knowledge, action and the results is a manifestation of this one light. That light is what we call the Surya. We'll end it here.
Yes, is it a good time to end?
Yeah, I think it's a good one, because the next one is the fruition method. Okay, from the revelation to the realization. Till now it was revealed, so now you'll be realizing it again. Solid foundation of the realization over there. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Any questions for me?
Nothing as such. It was another good and intense session. Yeah. So, yeah, already we have one episode up, and every week there'll be one episode coming. Yeah, and audience, like I said, any questions that you have, please post it there. And last episode I did mention about the Yoga Sutra class. Yep. And then we are planning to make it a course, and we'll have it ready probably in a month or so. Yep. And then following to that, we'll have multiple spiritual classes. Yeah. I would love to have a class on Bhagavad Gita too. Which
Bhagavad Gita is going to take, because see, I don't, you know my style. I take my time with things, because for me that once that intensity misses, there's no point in doing that.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, when I teach Bhagavad Gita, it's almost like a 1-year course. Right. Every week, people join, and then it's like, it's intense. You get like your assignments and everything that you have to finish. And dissecting your mind in so many ways, recognizing your patterns and everything. We'll do the course, but it's going to be like a 1-year course.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For me, the thing is, I wanted to capture the moment when you're there in that, and just I want you to do what you're best at, and I want to capture that and make it a course and put it on the website. So it's for me the magic lies there. Yeah,
we'll do like because Bhagavad Gita, it's like Shaptashatra, man. It's like 700 verses. You cannot, I would love to go into each verse and explain each character and everything, right? It's that way, it's just magical and beautiful because you have to analyze each personality over there. Yes, sure, the primary dialogue is happening between,
Krishna
Paramatma and Arjuna, right? But in the beginning itself, right, the very first word, okay, is the very first verse is Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsava Mamakav Pandavascheva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Okay. Like if you truly understand the value of that verse, okay, and who's asking that, okay, Dhritarashtra is a blind king, okay, and he says Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Kuru, okay, is what is being referred to as like the land of the Kauravas, okay. But here is where Sanskrit becomes such beautiful language, okay. Kuru is also doing in Sanskrit, okay. And this person is a blind person, and Sanjaya is someone who has a divine vision, okay. So he's saying, in this body of mine, with which I'm supposed to do the dharma, okay, dharma kshetre kurukshetre, and this field which is supposed to act upon, okay, samaveta yutsava, all these warriors have engulfed me, okay, mamakaf pandavascheva, okay, all these desires, okay, like the hundreds of Kauravas, right, and Pandavas, the 5 sense organs. The Pancha Pandavas, you have the 5, right, and you have 5 sensory organs, right. You have the Pancha Mahabhutas, the Tanmatras, the Karmendriyas, the Gyanendriyas, right. Kim Akurvata Sanjaya, oh divine vision, what are they doing with me? If you understand the gravity of the very first verse of Bhagavad Gita, it is about you knowing yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's going to get that intense, right? Because we are not going to do it just like any other textbook reading. It's like, okay, we are going to go verse by verse, and then we are going to explore all the other hidden Sanskrit meaning in it and everything. So, yeah. I would say once we are done with the Aditya Hrudayam, let's do Nirvana Shatkam first.
Yes, Shankaracharya's.
Yes, Adi Shankaracharya's Nirvana Shatkam, and we will do the Tattva Bodha. We'll understand tattvas. We'll understand the material world first. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Trust me. It's just magical. Yeah. Any other questions, Raghu?
That's it. Okay. Any other things that you have to add on?
No. This is a fantastic journey. It's as much a journey and a learning for me as much as it is for you. So thank you for being such a wonderful host.
I try, and it's an honor. Audience, thank you for listening. We are almost to the end of the verses. Probably we'll have one more.
I think one or two.
One or two maximum, depending on how it progresses. So please feel free to give us a feedback. This is going to be an open source class, and this will be on YouTube. And then all the other following classes will be on our own website, where you guys can log in and be a part of our journey. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Raghu.
Thanks.